Spoiler alert, short answer is every age, all age. Today's the age to introduce it if you haven't already. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Cam from Therapy Redeemed. Welcome to Office Hour with your therapist. Yeah, therapist. Episode 6. Today, we're going to be answering one of your questions. These are awesome questions, y'all. If you have a question, you can go to the link in my bio and submit one with your voice, or you can just DM me. And like I said, I've said in past episodes, I'll do what I can to get to your questions at some point in the future. Okay, so today we have this question. What age should you start giving them information about their birth parent? Info can be so raw. Great question, and you're so right. Info can be so raw. What were the circumstances surrounding the relinquishment? Was it voluntary? Was it involuntary? Where are they now? Are they accessible? Are they available for visitation? Are they declining visitation? Were they or are they engaged in activities that might not cast them in such a positive light, either for you as the caregiver or for the adoptee or for those around them? That's very true. So I really want to acknowledge that. Short answer here is every age. Any age, today age, right? Generally speaking, as long as you're confident in their emotion regulation, generally speaking, the earlier, the better. The sooner, the better. If we can even make this thing kind of like a normative idea that birth family is included, no matter how raw or hard or difficult or confusing the information could be, we want to be practicing that. We want to be getting kind of opportunities to tell and retell my story so that instead of it mastering me and pushing me into moments or seasons of confusion, right, or overwhelm, I get to master my story. I get to choose how I'm folding that into my narrative because I've been able to walk through that either with a caregiver or even on my own independently on a regular basis. The idea is that information about my story is empowering to me because it's like I'm trying to put together pieces of a puzzle of my life, okay? And it doesn't matter how painful necessarily or uncomfortable that information is. What matters is that I have it and I'm getting to decide how to incorporate that through the lens of my worldview. Now we might be asking, okay, well, maybe they're at a stage where their worldview is not developed yet and they might not have the social emotional abilities to kind of fold this information into their narrative in a quote-unquote adaptive way, meaning maybe they get stuck on a particular piece of information and it's really hard to let that go. I would say you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I recommend, and this is not necessarily a plug for you to get services with me, but therapy in general, mental health support is so normative to help children process that information and make decisions about it within the context of a safe, trusting, brave, courageous relationship where it's kind of like that idea of what's said here stays here, what's learned here leaves here. I learned that from my friend Carl way back in the day during a kind of a group discussion. So in that kind of therapeutic relationship, we can be diving in. What are the emotions associated with birth family? What information do we have right now? And how can we include that into your decision-making process as an adoptee in a way that you feel satisfied about and in a way that's meaningful to you and for your family. Okay, so any age, any stage. One last resource I want to share with you is written by the Center for Adoption Support and Education. They have an article called, this is like the third take I've had to say this, but The Adopted Child's Changing View. If you can say that 3 times fast, awesome. Check that out because it breaks all of those ideas down into cognitive, social, and emotional categories with the 4th category called adoption awareness. And that goes through like infant, like toddler age, and then ages like 6 through 12, teenage years and beyond. And you can kind of make some decisions about where your child is at and what are some ways that you can kind of meet them in that space at that age and set up conversations, interactions where they can be thinking about and receiving information about their birth family. So I hope that was helpful for you. As I've said before, I really enjoy making these resources for you all. I really want you to feel supported. You know, no one likes to be left out in the dark, feeling isolated. Hey, no one understands us. I want to make these videos for you to normalize this conversation and hopefully get you on your way to be making moves and decisions in your family. Thank you again to everybody who stops by and you take a minute out of your day to watch these little episodes. Really appreciate that. So if you have a question, as I mentioned earlier, you can send me a DM or go to the link in my bio. You can also go to the link in my bio to access my website. There's a lot of other free resources on there that I hope can be helpful for you wherever you're at in your adoption journey. Okay? So thank you again for being here. I will see you all next week. Bye-bye. Changing the adopted child's view. The adopted child's changing view. Adopted child's changing view. Okay.